You guys can count down whenever you're ready.
Alright. Go 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright. So here we have the opening cutscene, and I'm just dying to see the rest of the game. So we're just gonna put ourselves back in the ship. By killing yourself before the first text box appears, it'll put you back on the ship instead of the beginning of the first level. And that's useful for setting up another glitch later on in the run.
Yeah, so that death there essentially just skips that whole first, section of the game, and it still needs to be completed to finish what we have to do. So it's going to be backtracked to later on.
And that's not a trinket.
Yeah, a lot of this right now is just going around the overworld, going into rooms with teleporters in them, which can be used to set up for a trick later on.
There's going to be one more trinket right before the first level of the game in this category.
And yeah, all the trinkets are another main part of the category. All the trinkets have to be collected, which is like the main collectible in this game. So that's where a lot of the routing gets changed from the other categories.
And here we go, warp zone. Silly little movement error there, but one thing not a lot of people notice on their first or even like 500th playthrough is the background actually gives you a hint as to how the screen will warp. The horizontal lines appear when the screen wraps horizontally, and the vertical lines will appear when it wraps vertically. This room, there's a very difficult trick to get this trinket faster, and I can't seem to do it the easy way.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The other way is a really precise method that allows you to get that in a lot faster cycles. This room is just pretty hard in general.
There we go. I promise this run will get better later. And that's warp done. We saved our first crewmate right now. And we have to save the rest of them to complete the game.
And the crewmates that you get at the end of certain worlds are a big, checkpoint for progress.
What the hell was that? Alright. We fixed it.
Oh, they told me. Yeah, that was a telejump. That was what the first section of going through the overworld was for. Get all those teleporters. And it allowed entering into this level without having to travel all the way over to it.
Right now, we're in lab. Main gimmick with the lab is gravity lines that if you touch them will cause you to flip. One important thing to note in this game is if you know nothing else about this game, first thing is that everything in this game is trying to kill you, and the second thing, you cannot jump, only flip. Here we saved our second crewmate, Victoria. She has another trinket for us, which I'm going to go get now. Now, don't get too bent out of shape, because we're going to be doing this next level with a messed up sprite. Skipping that cutscene by killing yourself will mess up your sprite.
And it results in TV monitor for Radiant for the remainder of this level.
Yep. Right.
The deaths that are happening on the checkpoint, this level, it's like an auto store pretty much, waiting for the screen to go up. Dying if you reach those checkpoints will set like your spawn point higher up on the screen, which each time it happens, you can see speeds up the auto scroll progress, so that's why you kill yourself after each checkpoint that you land on. And that saves a couple seconds overall if you get all of them. Of it is pretty tasty. Yeah, this has been pretty clean so far, other than the Edge game error.
Yeah. So right now we're coming up on intermission 1. There is a way to skip intermission 1. I am not going to be doing that, ever. Truthfully though, it only saves about 4 seconds in this category, but it is extremely punishing. Like if you try it and fail it, run is just over, and it pretty much requires perfect, well, like nearly perfect movement and deathless in the lab. Alright, let's see if I can do it a second try. Yes. Alright, that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing in the run that I wanted to show off.
Yeah, basically the way that this works is like he'll follow you whenever you're on the floor but not on the ceiling. So the way the way that level's supposed to be intended to do is that you go on the bottom of the platform and then flip back to the ground, make him go up.
So
but there's barely just enough room to have him walk on the top of it for you to complete.
So I managed to cut out successfully about half of the overworld routing to Space Station 2. That trick is frame perfect. I'm not going to be talking about that though.
It's a wrong warp essentially.
Yeah. And right here is the entrance to Space Station 2. Now, I was trying to think of a way to describe it, but I couldn't quite convey that. You can call it a difficulty spike if you'd like, because it's by far the most difficult portion of this run. Ooh. That trick's also frame perfect.
So yeah, part of this, like part of the run in particular is that, like I said, the level that we killed ourselves in at the very beginning of the run still needs to be completed to complete the game. And so that's like the finish of the glitch that we started when we killed ourselves initially. It'll be backtracked to and completed. That's an important part of this split. Yeah, Space Station 2 will be entered twice.
No, of course. Of course. So there's no way to cheese that section, you just need to get good. I unfortunately didn't get it first try. Oh well. Right now, we're backtracking through Space Station 1.
Yeah, and because the two levels are actually connected, that platform that you walked off of, like, directly connects to this other world if you just, like, go the wrong way out of it. And so now we're just going backwards through Space Station 1, the first level of the game that we initially died in.
Of course.
big part about collecting trinkets in this game, since you have to get all of them in this category, is you want to grab, like, the farthest away, usually, the farthest away checkpoint from it that you can. Because a lot of the time when you grab trinkets, you're going to be backtracking from where they are to get back to where you started. So, grabbing the farthest away checkpoint you can, like, just die right after you get the trinket, and then that saves a lot of the backtracking for you.
Captain! Of course I have trouble with this teledump. There we go. And that allows us to skip the Gravitron.
Which is another intermission level, similar to the one from earlier. All of the intermissions are skipped except for that one that was played. That trinket that was just got is a good example of the checkpoint backtracking I was talking about. That trick relies on not grabbing any checkpoints all the way from the room that the trinket's actually in to the room where you break the platform. And you can immediately die and take you all the way back to this so that you can make it fast.
And now we've saved our last crewmate. And this final level is kind of like a combination of all the gimmicks in the previous levels. The warping screens, gravity lines, conveyor belts, like, you'll see bits and pieces of everything. Pretty challenging and falls to the very end of the game. Of course, we all get to find out why this room is called Time Slip. I always manage to die there. Always. I think I died there twice in my PvP. It was almost bad, but I saved it. And here's the last trinket. Alright, now I like to play a guessing game of how did I do. I'm going to guess 18. We'll see though. 1830. My PB for this game is 1652.
Alright, GG. It's a good run. Well, thanks for doing the run for us here.
Oh, thank you for having me.